2005, I would grow an interest and obsession for crossovers. Throughout the years, I dreamed of a hypermassive crossover in Super Mario would be the main character. In 2010, my laptop would have lots of pop-ups and adware until one caught my eye and changed my life forever on April 12, 2010, called Roblox. I clicked on the video on the main page. At first, I wasn't interested until the end where the video says you can blow stuff up, and I was pumped, so I had my mom make an account for me, which I named Chris Penguin. However, a day later, I couldn't remember how to get back in, so I had my mom make another account. This time, she was the one to name it, which she named Rustic ABCDE. At first, I thought it was a stupid name, but that name would become the name I'd use for all my accounts afterwards. From 2010 to 2012, my avatar would go through changes, starting with having pure white skin with an entire Halo Master Chief armor, clothing with brown hair and a red bandana. Later on, I then changed my avatar's skin color from pure white to a normal skin color, but it still wasn't good enough for me, so I made it a bit more darker until I was satisfied. The skin color was orange. Then, by the beginning of 2012, I accidentally removed the shirt part of the Master Chief outfit, which left me with just the pants but now a green tank top, which I decided to go with from now on because I thought it looked even much more cooler than before. Then, in mid-2012, the design of my avatar gave me an idea. The idea to make my avatar the main character of my own hypermassive crossover I've always dreamed of, being the replacement for Super Mario. This hypermassive crossover would be called Rustic. For 3 years until 2015, I would come up with 15 installments and confirm to myself that the 15th would be the last, which ever since 2016 I would then come up with ideas for the 15 installments and still am to this day. Throughout my high school years, I drew the 8 worlds and bosses for the first installment during free time. In 2017, I would grow an interest in music and make fake soundtracks for all 15 installments, and would write notes about my franchise in mid-2017, like an entire timeline. However, I would end up losing those notes until finding them 5 years later in 2022, but because I thought to have lost my notes in 2017, I decided to use the Samsung Notes app to write all my notes digitally, and have continued to do so to this day. The notes consisted of a 4-part timeline, scripts and dialogues, facts, character names and bios, world names, boss names, enemy names, and much more. In 2018, I began to download images onto my Samsung Galaxy on my phone to use as referencing for my franchise, which so far as of today I have downloaded 60,000 images and videos. I'm not kidding, and the same applied to OneDrive on my computer, which combined in total would be 940 gigabytes. I'm not kidding. Since 2017, I would draw more stuff about my franchise and still am to this day, where since 2020 I've been releasing digital drawn versions of art for my franchise on the DeviantArt. Links in the description. Then, ever since I graduated high school in 2019, I would work more and more on my franchise than I ever have been before, like drawing, writing notes, and downloading images and videos on both my phone and computer, even going as far as staying up all night to do so lots of the time. Since 2021, I've been telling people on Discord about my franchise while also showing the things I've made, which they were interested in. However, remember when I said this was going to be a hypermassive crossover? Well, from mid-2022 to early 2023, Israel, an acquaintance of mine, would keep telling me that making the crossover I've dreamed of is impossible, but I didn't truly believe that until early 2023, which then one of my closest friends on Discord, named Starburst, would tell me that the franchise I've dreamed of would cost billions of dollars, and that even if I did manage to have the money, there would still be chances of each and every company I'm getting the IPs from saying either yes if I can use their IPs, or no. So, in early 2023, I truly came to my senses, and decided to make parody characters and analog characters like Drawn Together did. You can't say that Rustic is a combination of Drawn Together and Invincible, or you can say that Rustic is like Drawn Together, except the shock humor was replaced with lore. Since July 2023, not only have I been looking up how to make a game on Godot and learning about how pixel art works in games, but I've also been making sprites and tiles for the first installment of my franchise in Godot, while also staying up all night a lot to do so as well. Originally, the first 4 games were going to have cartoony art styles, like Castle Crashers or the games on Newgrounds, but because it was hard to draw the sprites and tiles I wanted to make, I decided to draw pixel art, which I always thought would be harder, but surprisingly a lot easier than I thought it would be. So I finally decided that the first installment will be 8-bit, the second installment will be 16-bit, the third installment will be 32-bit, the fourth installment will be 64-bit, the fifth installment will resemble GameCube, PS2, and original Xbox graphics, the sixth installment will resemble Wii, PS3, and Xbox 360 graphics, and the seventh installment will resemble Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One graphics, and so forth. And now, starting today, I am finally proud to publicly reveal my franchise and story to all of you on YouTube. Hope you will enjoy what's in stores for what's to come of this. If you have any questions about it, leave it down below and I'll be sure to reply. Thanks for watching!